Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining the Python workshop. So, right, Python. So this Python actually very famous in the market. Python actually useful in many places, right? By using with the help of this Python, we can develop the web applications, and with the same Python we can use in the automation level in the DevOps point of view. Same Python concepts we can use into the data engineering point of view, data science point of view, machine learning point of view. Okay, not only development, right? We can use in multiple places. So here, data engineer point of view, even though we used to work on these Python related sub concepts, okay, not a completely in detail level. So there is some dedicated some areas is there. So we need to focus on only those areas here. So those areas only, so that we can work on data engineering related projects by using the Python. So we are a data engineer, right? So we are getting the data from the different source systems, like on-premises, like a structured data, file system related data, right? File system means any file formats data, CSV, PARC, AVR, OJSON, right? REST APIs data. Okay. So in cloud point of view, there are plenty of ETL tools available, like Azure point of view, Data Factory, AWS point of view, Glue, and GCP point of view. Also, we have ETL tools available, some data flows. But the challenges is uh, while handling the huge amount of data, like from the source system, millions of records, terabytes, petabytes, right? So this type of data handling point of view, definitely graphical representations manner, there is a limitations. That is the reason uh, while working with the huge amount of data, right? If you are trying to perform some complex related workloads, definitely we need a coding part. Definitely we need a coding part. Okay, fine. Transformation point of view, we have a Spark is there, but obviously Spark again depends upon the SQL and combination of Python, right? Spark, right? Later, based upon the Spark demands, why can't we develop the combination of Python plus Spark code? So that is the reason they are introducing the concept called PySpark. PySpark means Python combination of Spark. So that is the magic of the Python usage. Okay. Even though in the Databricks Spark point of view, right, we are writing the Python codes. So most of the folks already aware of it, right? While reading the data point of view, for example, today, guys, I'm gonna focus on only in what areas we are gonna use this Python concept. Okay, first of all, I'm not gonna touch any basics part. Right, first I will give the right where and what situation, right? We are using this Python concepts, especially for data engineer point of view, especially data engineer point of view. Tomorrow, second workshop, I will start the basics because different people's actually coming from a different background for this workshop, right? In their mind, their mainly intention to uh, see the what exactly this trainer focus on data engineer point of view. If you see YouTube or some other Udemy, some websites, right? We have some Python basics tutorials is there. Then no need to join these sessions, especially on the early morning hours. Your intention is right in what situation at what areas, right? Python exactly we are gonna use it. An entry point of view also, right? At the time of giving the rate of the Python, like for example, out of 5 or else out of 10, and at the time of writing the code also, right? What are the areas exactly used to focus on it? Those part is very important. Today agenda, first day agenda, Python usage in the data engineer, what areas? Second one, some of the entry point of view. Tomorrow also basics, and at the end, I will give you some interview questions, right? The way of writing the Python. Okay, right. So, for example, uh, generally we are expecting the data from the source system. All right. Generally, we are expecting the data from the source systems, either Azure or AWS, GCP point of view. Commonly, we have a source system. The source system either on-premises, anything, right? Anything. So once we are getting the data from the source system, the data actually landing into the cloud storages, right? Data obviously landing into the cloud storages. Azure Blob, Data Lake Gen 2, AWS S3 bucket, or else GCP storages. In case if you guys are using the Databricks platform, if you guys are using the Databricks platform to connect to the your blob or a data lake gen 2 or else um, S3 buckets, obviously we need to create a mount point. Mount point intention to connect to cloud storages and take the permissions. Next, you can perform the reading and writing. Right. So for every container in the data lake Gen 2 point of view, obviously we used to perform medallion architecture, like a bronze, silver, gold. Some people's actually following the raw, curated data, some mart, some naming conventions actually people performing. Data warehouse point of view, normally medallion architecture point of view. So here we have a containers, right? Treat like we have a three containers, bronze, silver, and gold, right? So Databricks platform point of view, right? If you want to connect the branch container and if you want to fetch the data into Databricks platform, we need to create a three mount points. One mount point for the bronze, one mount point for the silver, one mount point for the gold. Right? So at the time of creating the mount point also, here, right, the code is a combination of Python plus Spark, guys. The code is a combination of Python plus Spark. See, this code, obviously Python. Right, see, the percentage Python means at the time of running the notebook having the cells, right? Okay, the cells, and if you are using the latest frameworks, no need to provide this magic command like a percentage SQL, percentage Python. The latest frameworks, if you write select star from something code, right, it automatically convert and it will take it as a magic command, SQL magic command. Okay, but in case if you guys are using somewhat older frameworks versions, Databricks runtimes, maybe 14 point, 13 point something, older one, right? So as a data in our responsibility, at the time of running the cell, we need to make it as the magic comments. Which code we are here writing as a percentage Python, percentage SQL, percentage Scala, you need to mention. See, this code obviously mount point creation, mount point creation. So this is the combination of Python plus Spark. Python plus Spark. Okay. See, in the Python, right? While writing the Python actually following the indentation. I hope you guys are able to see this color, the picture, the color, right? So it means this IDE tools, integrated development environment tools, while writing the code, right? Either Python or else like SQL or else C#.NET or a Java, right? Right, already some libraries and plugins already this setup is done into this IDE tool, right? Or else at the time of writing the code, we need to import the mandatory packages. So that here extension is mountpoint.py means Python file extension .py means Python. So while writing the Python code, we need to follow this indentation, spaces and tabs. If you miss this indentation, right, while writing the Python code, it will throw the error. While working with the Python point of view, common basic is we need to follow the indentation, right? That is a very important. If you see other programming languages, no need to follow the indentation, like a .NET or a Java, any other programming languages, no need to follow the indentation. Okay, so Python actually following this indentation. Even though YAML also, YAML, ain't markup language also following the indentation. YAML, YAML. While working with the Azure DevOps build and releases point of view, people's preferring the YAML and this configurations management tool like Ansible point of view, also people preferring the YAML. And while reading the Docker code and Kubernetes code also, YAML, right? Indentation. Python YAML actually following the indentation. Indentation. See in this code, right? This code is combination of Python, PySpark. See, this code belongs to the Python. Here we are writing the looping condition, right? Looping condition. In case if the mount point is created, right? We need to, right? While mount point creation, first of all, is a one-time activity, guys. First, you need to know about the concept. First, you need to aware of the this Databricks concepts, and next you need to aware of the Python concepts. Then only, right? You will get to know the way of writing and the way of understanding important. Mount point code creation is a one-time activity, right? Mount point code creation is a one-time activity. Even though, see, if I execute this code, right? So your logic must and should be this code will be, if you execute multiple times, right? Mount point creation code is a one-time activity. For example, the first time I run the code, mount point creation done successfully. If I run the second time, right? Maybe here you need to think like your mount point creation code successfully already, your mount point creation already created. Like the way there is a pop-up will be coming here. Either you can write a one print a message, right? So like the way you need to write the code, right? Your code must and should be having like this type of conditions. In case if the mount point is code created, next mount point code will be executed. Like the way you need to write a conditions. Okay, that is very important. First, you need to know about the logic. Next, you need to know about the way of uses concepts and the environments like a Databricks and Python. Okay, see, one of the common use case in the while working with the Databricks, mount point creation point of view, obviously we are using the Python concepts. Python concepts. In case, right, if the data is available in the containers, the reading point of view and writing point of view, each and every container we need to create a one mount point. The secrets information, the secret scopes, right? Everything we need to pass into the while creating the mount point. This mount point code creation happening via service principle in Azure point of view. Here I'm saying Azure point of view. Okay, like the way see mount point codes available from my end. Even though while writing the Scala also, okay, Databricks actually supports the multiple programming languages, right? So PySpark and Scala and R, right? And SQL as well. So if in your project, if you guys are using this Scala, right? See, this is the way we need to create a mount point. Just there is a some little bit modifications actually used to take care of it while working with the Scala. Majority same process only. There is a little bit syntaxes difference. Okay.
We need to follow hoops in here,
Yes, obviously.
like abstraction.
Yes, correct. Yes, we need to follow the OOPS concepts. Even though data frames and data sets also we used to follow the OOPS concepts. If you guys are using Python means obviously OOPS, object-oriented programming concepts, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, right? Object creations, everything. Okay, this is the one usage. Tell them, common interview question, guys. Okay, in what situation did you get a chance to work within Python in your current project? Right? So majority everyone nowadays are actually working on Spark only, right? The way of giving the answers in the interview, tell them at the time of creating the mount point creations point of view, I got a chance to write the combination of Spark plus Python code. And in the next session, I will show you the way of writing the exception handling, right? The way of reading the data from different containers level, I will show you. Second part is, so 1 minute. Let me open the respective folders in my systems. Okay, let me share my screen. Right. Second use is, there are plenty of uses is there. Airflow level. Airflow. Okay. Right. So orchestration point of view. Orchestration, data engineer point of view, the general day-to-day term is orchestration. Orchestration meaning is we have a source system having the data, that data we need to move into the destination. Manually, we have a pipelines. This pipeline's intention to connect the source systems and take the data and load the data into the destination, right? This pipeline is actually running on automatic manner. That we can call it as orchestration. Okay. So orchestration point of view, there are plenty of tools available. Like a data factory is one of the orchestration tool. In Databricks workflow, we can call it as orchestration. And AWS Glue, orchestration, right? Apache Airflow also orchestration. Apache Airflow also orchestration. See, Apache Airflow intention is whenever we are expecting the complex workloads from the source system, right? In while working with the clouds, there is a limitations, and we used to pay the amount, right? Apache Airflow is the open source, right? So we can easily, sorry, not easily, we can handle the complex data workloads by using the Airflow in open source level. Okay. For example, my source system giving the very huge amount of data, right, related to the some healthcare domain. Okay. While working with the Airflow, this setup is already there in my local. So there is a folder called DAG folder. Okay, this Airflow data engineer classes, I will explain, guys. At the time of data engineer classes, right, in the live session itself, I will explain the Airflow, the usage, the Docker usage, right, the setup, everything I will explain in the live sessions only. See, while working with the Airflow point of views, in real time, there is a main file is there. This main file actually having the workflow. The main file actually having the workflow means DAG. We need to create a DAG, DAG, directed acyclic graph. We can call it as a workflow. So in this workflow, actually, right, we are calling the different Python files into the main file. We are calling the right different Python files into the main file. Let me show you a few Python files. For example, um, I want to drop the duplicates. Okay. I want to drop the duplicates, right? So in PySpark point of view, the job is very easy. In PySpark point of view, if you are using plain PySpark code, right, then our job is very easy. Simple. We can use the drop duplicate function. We can uh, drop the duplicates. Okay, right. So, but here we are not our project requirement. We are not working on the cloud-based manner. We used to work on even the data engineer. Okay, here we are handling the big data, but we are working on open source Airflow, open source Airflow, right? So here, this file name is drop duplicates and extension is Python. And generally, in the Databricks point of view, to perform the transformation, we are using the PySpark concept, combination of Python. But if you guys are using the Airflow normal open source completely, if you guys are using the Python, right? Obviously, if you want to perform the transformation, there is a technique called pandas. Pandas. Okay, with the help of this pandas also having the same data frames concepts. Same, whatever we are trying to achieve in the Spark, right? Same things we can do into the pandas level. But Spark is the better one when compared to the pandas because that is the in different platform, right? So here pandas. With the help of pandas, we can perform the transformations. First, in this code, I just import the pandas one. I just import the pandas one. Okay. While writing the code, mandatory, whatever the libraries, whatever the namespaces, right? C#.NET, whenever we are working with the C#.NET, we are calling it as a namespaces. While working with the C or a CPP, we used to call it as header files, right? In Java, we can call it as a some packages, right? Here also same. You need to import the mandatory packages. Okay, right. So we are importing the pandas library. This is the main tool for data manipulations while working with the data manipulations, means transformations point of view. We need a pandas. Next, important interview question, guys. KW arguments. KW arguments. Okay, here I am writing the Python function. Python functions always starts with the def keyword. Anyway, tomorrow I will explain the live sessions at the time of basics. We will get to know. Python functions starts with def keyword. Okay. Here we are defining the function. The function name is called drop duplicates. In the function, right, here we are passing the arguments, right? Arguments. Okay. So these are all the keyword related arguments, guys. KW, KW, right? Keyword, we are passing some arguments. We are Airflow, actually, we are passing the some set of keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. Okay. So here TI means this is the task instance. Okay, TI means task instance. So the intention is we are extracting the task instance objects from the Airflow context. Airflow context. So this object actually tells to this task, hey, pull the data and push the data between the using this XCOM objects. XCOM objects. Okay, I will explain in detail in at the time of Python project. So while working with the Airflow point of view, right? So there is a pattern first you need to understand, right? So what is first our activity? Okay. So here directly we are talking about the drop duplicates. But before drop duplicates, right? There is a one file Python function called load data. Load data, right? So let me open the load data. Because the reason is this drop duplicates actually depends upon this file load data. Because whenever we are working with a this ETL tool, see here also importing the pandas, here also we have a one function name is load underscore data. Here also we are passing the keyword arguments. This is a task instance. First we are reading the data from the respective CSV files from the different locations. Like we have an input location. In the input location, these two CSV files available. We are reading the data with the help of these pandas. First, we are reading the data. Next, we are trying to store here we are converting the JSON from the XCOM storages. Once the reading is processed successfully, we are trying to push this file into the on different places. Now the file name is df underscore 2018 and df underscore 2019. Right, so this is the first part. Once the load is completed, next I want to drop the duplicates from this files. First, I'm taking the file. In the file, there is file dot this Python file, right? I'm taking this load underscore data dot Python file. Next, in this load underscore data dot Python, right? There is a two files will be we pushed, right? So I'm trying to first pulling these two files. First, I'm trying to pulling these two files. Next, I'm writing the if condition. If there is no data found, generally, right? We are pushing these files into the on different location, like imagine input location, right? In case the file is not available, right? While working with the coding point of view, right? We used to take care of the true condition and false condition, right? True and false. Always we are not gonna meet the true, right? If for example, if the file is not available on the respective location, right? It will throw the error. For capturing those errors point of view, generally we used to handling the error related logics, either with help of exception handling directly by using try catch, or else we can write in this if condition level, we can raise the error. For example, there is no data found for this 2018 and 2019 files. Okay. So if there is no files, then only this code will be executed. Otherwise, if the file is available, I am directly reading that files by using pandas read underscore JSON. Important interview question. Even though in the pyspark, right, we have a spark.read format functions available. But in Python pandas, especially while working with the data engineer point of view, if we want to read that file, especially JSON or else CSV, we can use this function. If it is a JSON, read underscore JSON, right? If it is a CSV, if it is Excel, right? So you can use the other function, read underscore CSV, right? Read underscore JSON. Such functions we need to use it and pass the files. Okay. Next, here also common pattern. Once if you read process is completed, obviously we need to drop the duplicates. Obviously we need to drop the duplicates. Same function. Whatever the pyspark available drop duplicates, here also drop duplicate function is available. Right. Successfully we drop the duplicates function. Now we have a good data. right?
Sorry.
I want to give me a minute. I want to push the file into the another location. Simple. While working with the Airflow point of view, we are pulling the file and read the file and perform the transformations and push the file into the other location. This is the common pattern we need to follow while working the Airflow, especially Python combination of pandas code. Yeah, please go ahead.
So when you say drop duplicates, does these delete the perfect duplicates or
Yes,
any form of duplicate? Like if there,
duplicates, completely duplicates.
okay, just in case if you want to deletes on the on base of some key, can we do it that as
Yes,
well?
yes, yes. In the SQL also, right? We are writing
Yes.
the condition with the help of common table expressions and by using the Windows functions, row number greater than one. If you pass those
Yeah.
things, we can delete, right? In the PySpark and the Python level also, if you want to, generally, duplicates means either duplicates available in one column, two column, or else complete multiple columns, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe here you need to decide either you are trying to delete the duplicates on one specific columns or a complete table level, multiple columns. So here also we can pass the select statement, right? And you can delete it. So the
Mm,
2018 is a different file, 2019 is a different file, right? Correct or
yeah.
not? But common thing is here, common thing is schema is common, first of all. Okay, so based upon this, right, you can write the filter condition on which column you are trying to drop the duplicates. Any ID column level, any name column level, right? Based upon that, we need to decide.
My question is, with the given function drop duplicates, can we do
Hmm.
that?
Simple drop duplicates. It will treat
Yeah.
like a complete table level.
Okay. Okay. Got
Okay,
it.
right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
To
Others,
use
any
this
questions?
load,
Hmm.
to use this load data, we need to import in this module.
Directly, we are importing the pandas, right? Pandas itself, PD. Already we are importing, right?
No,
PD
like
pandas.
load
Hmm.
data is another file, right? Like how we can use in this.
1 minute. See, here we are loading the file. Correct or not? This is the file
Yeah.
name is load underscore dot py. Correct? We are calling this load underscore data dot py into the another Python function here. The task ID is load underscore data. This load
Oh,
underscore data dot py Python function we are calling into the main file. In the main file, so there is a one task is there, one transformation. Okay, task underscore ID is the load underscore data. This one we need to specify in this section.
okay. We are declaring everything in one module, and we are
Yes,
using it.
yes, main file Python, this file actually calling the other Python files. Other Python files actually used to perform only transformations, dropping the duplicates one Python function, checking the null values one Python function, joining the two data frames one Python function, converting something. All Python files we are gonna call into the main file. This main file just having the all the Python files references details. Here we have a workflow. We are calling the all the Python files into the inside workflow.
Okay.
Now, when how do you like get the path of these files? Like when
Hmm.
you're loading it in the first page, like in the load underscore Python, like how do you know that? How where do you give that path?
Yeah. So this is the my structure. Okay, the folder structure, like a project flow structure. There is an input location. I just place these files into the in this section. Treat like
Okay.
a source system, and my destination is treat like output. I am trying to move the final outcome data into the output location. Means the data is available in input location. These two CSV files, right? In this code, there is a main one, or else
Yeah.
see in the load underscore data input tilde symbol means home directory. Okay,
Okay.
because I am working on my local system. In case in reality, if you guys are working with the on-premises or any other location, the shared path we need to specify in this section.
Okay.
Okay. Tilde
Okay.
means home directory. It will treat like, okay, you guys are using the personal system, same system, personal system only. Whenever at the time of executing, it will check in your local.
Okay. So ideally, normally in project, we parameterize this
Yes.
Azure,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Shared one. The
Okay.
shared link we need to provide.
Okay.
And
And
anyway,
the, yeah, go ahead.
please go ahead.
Just like here in this case, we are only extracting one corresponding given file name, right?
Correct.
So if we want to pull multiple files,
Yes. We can iterate it, right? The code must maybe gonna different.
We
Okay, we
can
need to
declare
write
in
a
a
code. Let me explain the statement. So generally in reality, every day we are expecting the incoming files from the source system, right? Maybe every day, maybe every hour, right? Or else daily on specific times. Correct or not?
yes.
Okay. Your code, right? We need to write code like a always it will fetch the latest timestamp level. In a ADF level, glue level, right? So the data actually loading into data lake Gen 2. For example, in branch container, files actually placed into the branch container. Each and every file, there is a timestamp, year, month, date, hours, minutes, seconds, right? Your code actually having the logic always to fetch only latest timestamp file only. Okay, that is the code we need to write it here. I will show you tomorrow. Please write this one by tomorrow. Okay, right. First, we'll see the underground basic part. Tomorrow, we'll see the remaining things. Today, my agenda, where exactly we are using the Python and data engineer projects.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions, others, please? Okay, right. So there are plenty of Python files available. Okay, for loading the one Python file, dropping the duplicates one Python file, handling the missing values one Python file, standardize the columns one Python file, converting the data types one Python file, remove the outliers one Python file, shuffling the data, right, saving the data for email notification, right? There are plenty of Python files available. Obviously, Airflow, this is the way we need to provide the ETL dependencies. Extraction, next to loading, next to dropping, next to missing. I just to specify the dependency, one after another one execution. Okay. So, but here the thing is, the way of writing code almost similar, guys. If you know about one Python function to understand what the exact business use case, right? So majority, everything actually following the same only, but only transformations logic is different, remaining the way of reading, the way of pulling, the way of pushing common. Okay. For example, I want to handling the missing values, right? See, same. In first, I'm importing the pandas. So the reason to specify the multiple files is so that our development and design actually easily we can understand, right? If something is going wrong with our ETL pipeline, right? We have a task. So there is an issue within one task, right? You can just check the task log information, okay? And you can directly come to your code and you can check it, right? For a debugging point of view, for resolving the issues point of view, if you maintain the code, right, in this design, then our development, then our ETL, right, simple and easy to understand. Same Python functions, same the way of writing the Python function def keywords, Python function name, we are passing the same arguments, right? The object instance, task instance, the way of pulling, right? For handling the if the reason file is not available, for raising the error, okay? And there is a pop-up message. First, we are reading the data. Next, transformation. In this part only, we are performing the transformation, right? See, the pulling is common, reading is common, pushing is common. Middle, we are performing the transformation. Fill any function. Fill any important interview question. Important interview question. This one. Fill any. Fill any. Right. For example, uh, there is a null values available in my data. I want to fill some default values. Right. Instead of null, I need to make it as hello. Right. Or else some laptop, product name laptop. Just I want to replace some null values. Right. You can use the fill any function. Okay. Drop duplicates, fill any function, and some transformation functions is there. Those are one word important interview questions. Okay. Here, handling the missing values. Just in your mind, there is a word must and should comes, right? The function name is called fill any. Dropping the duplicates, the function name is drop duplicates. Okay. Like the way we have a different Python files available. Please.
We can write async and await synchronous functions as well.
Yes. Everything we can write it. But here my intention in real-time industries, while working with the multiple domains, as a data engineer, what areas actually we are going to focus on Python side, not a complete development side. Even though we are doing the development, normal web application development part is completely different. In Python, guys, you can treat like it is a ocean. There are plenty of things available. With the help of Python, we can handle the big data workloads. We can connect to the databases and we can handle the data. And web application point of view, we can develop the web application. Okay, there is a Flask also available. We can connect it. There are plenty of use cases is there with the help of Python. Okay. Yeah, Deepak.
With the fill NA, it replaces null values across the table, whole table, wherever is there null, it just refills with the
Correct.
corresponding. Okay.
Correct. That is the intention. If there is any date, for example, there is a CSV file, the CSV file having null values in multiple columns. I want to replace that value instead of mentioning the null, right? I want to maintain some default one. That is the purpose we are using the fill any function.
Okay.
Right.
We need to write logs as well.
Right. In .NET, C#, right? Whatever you are trying to do, right? Python also we can do it.
In data engineering point of view.
What type of logs can please elaborate?
We are writing the logs like to
Logs, right? You're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Like we need to write the logs in these functions as well.
Right, we can write it.
Okay. In real time, like we are getting some errors while debugging, we need to use like that.
Yes, exception handling also. Try, right? Exceptions. I will show you tomorrow. The try block also will have 100% your Python function must and should having the exception handling codes. Because the exception handling, we have try block and exception block. Try block always looking for the true condition part. Whatever the business result you are trying to looking, right, in your mind, the main output comes under the try block only. Right, in case the condition, right, we are not meeting, then if there is an error, the error actually goes to the next statement, exception. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. See, for example, I want to remove the outliers. Okay. This is the transformation logic to handle the outliers. This one I will explain in detail at the time of airflow level. Airflow level. Okay. Shuffle the data, save the data. I want to save some data in Parquet level. I want to save some data into CSV level. Here, common pattern, pulling, reading, right, and writing. And we have only one logic for related to the saving point of view, Parquet. Okay, right. So this is the usage generally we are gonna prefer while working with the Python. While working with the Python. Right. Let me recollect again few points. Python is a high-level programming language, guys. Python is a high-level programming languages, right? If you want to data engineer point of view, if you want to read the data, write the data, perform the transformation, here the Python is our best choice. Same, whatever you guys are familiar about the English language, right? Same, the syntax almost similar. Okay, it is not a complicated. While comparing to the other programming languages, Python actually not complicated. For example, if you take one logic, right, same logic we can write into the Java, .NET, Python, Ruby, Rails, all places. But Python code simple and short and easy to understand when compared to the other programming languages. Okay, so this Python actually used for while working with the big data handling point of view, a web applications point of view to develop any web application, web pages. And if there is an automation, DevOps point of view, automation point of view, AI point of view, right? So we can use the Python. Multiple places we can use the Python. Java, .NET, right? Like some few things only fixed into the few places. But the Python and SQL actually common in multiple places. Data engineer point of view, data science, data analyst, machine learning, right? Web coding related point of view, .NET, Java, right? SQL common here. Same like a Python also common here. Okay, right. So Python obviously, right, supports the multiple programming languages. Sorry, Python actually supports the multiple platforms like a Windows, Mac, Linux, all those things, systems. Okay, but Python actually having a lot of libraries, guys. So based upon your need, for example, if you want to you work with the data processing level, you can use the pandas. Just now we discussed, right? Pandas. Here we are handling the big data workloads. We are doing the data processing. Either you can use the pandas or else numpy, right? Or else there is a project related to machine learning. Here, machine learning related Python libraries, actually we need to import it, like a tensorflow or else like a scikit-learn. Okay, and I have a web APIs, right? There is a web APIs, right? We can use the Flask or else fast API also we can use it, right? For example, we are using the Python in AWS level. I want to do cloud related some Python use, especially in the AWS. We can use the Boto3, correct? Even though Python also we are using the Airflow level. Right now we are seeing the Airflow only. Python, we can integrating through the pyspark as well. Few minutes back at the beginning of the session only, I show you, right? The way of mount point creation means in multiple places we can use the Python. Okay. But here thing is Python actually giving the lot of libraries. Okay. So especially ETL point of view, if you want to read the data from APIs, if you want to read the data from the databases, if you want to read the data from some file, CSV, JSON, something, right? There are some libraries actually we need to import, like a pandas, right? Pandas, Python, ODBC, especially common entry question. Data is available in my database. I want to read the data. First, you need to provide your ODBC connectivity, right? This Python ODBC connectivity, sqlalchemy, right? And the request pandas. These libraries we need to import it based upon your incoming data. If it is a database, we can use the ODBC. If there is any CSV, JSON, Parquet, right? We can use the request. Other than some databases, we can use the sqlalchemy. Okay, those are mandatory, right? The libraries we need to import. First, we need to import those libraries. Okay, especially data transformation, data cleaning, right? For aggregating the data, reshaping the data, we have a pandas and numpy and pyspark is there. Okay, instead of pandas, you can use the numpy. In your Databricks environment, you can use the pyspark. Okay, Right. Anyway, Flask I will explain by tomorrow.
I have a small question. Joined late. So the
Please.
main Medicare Python sheet, like we said, we got deployed, or we put so many modules in it. Like, is it going to execute one by one, or like is it like parallel execution, or is
One
it?
by one. It is a ETL, right? One after another one. There is the dependency. First to loading the data. Next to
If
dropping the
anything
duplicates.
fails, it's going to stop all.
Sorry.
If anything fail in any process fail, it's going
Yes,
to
stop. There is a dependency, right? ETL means DAG means directed acyclic graph, right? Here we are Airflow. I'm defining the DAG. DAG means directed acyclic graph, right? First, I want to do the extraction. Next to transformation. Next to loading. If the extraction goes to the file, then obviously there is no transformation. There is no loading, right? Same,
yeah.
even though while doing the transformation, there is a dependency. First, I want to load the data. Once the load is completed, then only I want to drop the duplicates. Once if we drop the duplicates, now there is a good data. In the good data, there is a null values available. I want to replace the null values. Now, again, we have a better good data. Now, I want to maintain that columns as a standardized manner. Next, I want to convert the data types. Next, I want to remove the outliers in the data. I want to shuffle the data. Next, some of the data I want to save into the CSV, or else some of the data maybe I want to save into the Parquet. Once everything is done, right, I want to send a notification to the respective teams, email notification, right, like the way one after another one. Here there is a dependency, but while working with the, for example, ETL level, I have a tables, okay, some, for example, 50 tables available in my source system. Here, while looping these tables from the source system, here, are you guys are trying to take one by one table, or else all the tables, either sequential or a parallel? You guys are aware of the meaning of the sequential and parallel, right? Either you are planning to go with the sequential, or else planning to go with the parallel. First, we are pulling the data from source system to the staging layer, data lake gen 2. Next transformation comes to the picture. Transformation point of view, we are doing the steps one by one. But the very first pipeline intention, either you can take the parallelly or else sequentially take that data and load the data into staging layer. Next to transfer, extraction, first part extraction, right? One by one or else multiple. Next to transformation comes to the picture. Whatever the data landing into data lake gen 2, whether it's a structure or a file format, here we are doing the things one by one. There is a dependency.
So it's going dependency because you mentioned in the last.
Correct.
Okay. Understand.
Okay, we need to specify the dependency. This is the meaning of the dependency in Airflow. See, greater than, just I raise some symbols right in at the end, task dependencies.
Understand. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Fine. All right. Coming days, we'll discuss about the data processing in detail with respect to the pandas and pyspark. Okay. And orchestration level, I will show you in Databricks environment level, I will show you on Delta live tables, the way of uses Python and PySpark level. Okay, and Airflow level. File formats also I will show you. And there is a API. If there is an API one, okay, one Flask is there. I will explain that one Flask as well. So these are all the main important things. In next tomorrow session, okay, I will give the brief introduction related to the Python, right? So mandatory, you need to install one IDE tool, either Visual Studio Code or else other tools, PyCharm. And the way of writing the Python syntax, Python indentation, right? The variables, okay? Next to data types and variable declarations, and a global keyword and some data types and the Python function with the help of def keyword. Right, we'll do these important, very, very important interview question. Python data types, especially list, tuple, set, dictionary. Right. So the difference between list and tuple and set and dictionary. Right. The way of understanding these curly brackets, square brackets, parenthesis brackets, which bracket actually comes on the list or a tuple or a set or a dictionary. Okay. Next, we'll see this some exercise related to these data types, list, tuple, dictionary. Next, I will explain the exception handling. Next, Python function, the way of writing the def keyword, and Python generator. Next, Python lambda functions also we'll discuss. Okay, I will show in Python use a Python function, the way of writing in Databricks level. Okay, and at what areas actually we are preferring to write a Python functions in Databricks, especially Spark environment, right? In a seed implementations level to merge the multiple data frames into one data frame while working with the exception handling point of view in the Spark level. Okay, on other areas, I will show you to this Python usage. Okay, that's it for today. Today agenda, in what areas we are preferring this Python. Tomorrow, right, in next part 2, I will explain the complete basics and the way of writing the things. In case if there isn't still pending, right, again, I will conduct one more Python workshop. We'll discuss the remaining concepts. Okay, this Python, guys, I will show you the end-to-end implementation into the Airflow level. Okay, obviously we have a GenAI project is there in coming workshop as a Azure point of view. Databricks, I'm planning to show you the generative AI combination of this LLM embedding vector search and the Databricks Unity Catalog and Spark. On that time, I'm gonna write a Python code and Spark code. Right, on that time I will explain the in detail related the Python uses in real-time projects. Okay, that's it from my end. If you have any questions, let me know before wind up the call.
For tomorrow live session, do we need to install any softwares or any Python?
Yes. In your system, just install Visual Studio Code. Okay.
That should do.
Okay.
And regarding the pandas or those will automatically come in there, or do we need to explicitly?
No. We need to import it. Those part actually we need to import it. Anyway, I will explain. Okay, the installation. And if you have any challenges like while downloading, while installing, right, let me know. Okay, you can share your screen and show me. I will help you for installation and downloading the setuping part.
Okay, thanks.
So tomorrow is our regular sessions or tomorrow?
Tomorrow again we have a workshop related to the Python.
What time, sir? Same time or?
Evening 6 p.m.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
In notebooks, like when we will write Python code in
so already told you,
Databricks
tomorrow I will show you. See, this is the note. At the beginning of the session, I already show you, right? In the way of mount point creation. That is also part of the Python code only, right? And we used to write one Python functions. I will show you by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all. We'll connect tomorrow on the same time. Thank you. Thanks for joining the session. Have a good day.